Hey Space Watchers, and welcome back from Riyadh. It's day number 2 here at Connecting the World from the Skies conference, and I have the great honor to speak now with Isabelle Mauro, the director, the secretary of GSOA, the Global Satellite Operator Association. Correct so far?
Correct so far, although now we have expanded. It's not just the operators, but we also have the ground segment, manufacturers, so we are really a broader ecosystem of the satellite.
Inside.
Though it's still inside, but we're working on it.
Okay, wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, very energized by a day and a half now, nearly 2 days of meetings and great discussions. Yes.
Wonderful. Tell us more about GSOA, where you stand, what is you changed, not just changed the name, you went really global. So what did that entail?
Well, first of all, it entails a kind of a rapid expansion, which I think is following a little bit the rapidity at which this industry is evolving. We've been global now for a couple of years, so it means that we are becoming very active in every region of the world. Not only in our engagement with policymakers and regulators, responding to the many consultations that are happening at national level as well. So it has meant for us as well to try and define what are our priorities, not just for a WRC cycle, but what are our also short, medium and longer term priorities. So that's what...
Tell us more about these priorities, the sectors you have today.
Well, one which is still there and very top of the list is spectrum, of course.
Okay.
So securing, maintaining enough spectrum for our industry. In particular, as we now we have an increasing number of LEOs, MEOs, but also because GEOs are innovating at a pace that they've never before. So spectrum becomes really essential, not only for the current services, but also the new services that we are seeing emerging. So that is number one priority. WRC 27 is, of course, top of our list, and being very active working with all our operators there. Second area is sustainability. Absolutely crucial that the industry, acts responsibly. It's in our interest. We need to maintain space absolutely safe. We adopted a code of conduct on space sustainability last year, looking at 4 areas. One is anti-collision, the other one is space debris. So mitigating the risks on both areas. Also safeguarding, protecting lives in space, and also the impact on the optical, impact of satellites. We're also in this area engaging increasingly with regulators to look at, how we can develop policies and regulations that are appropriate, for the context, and working with the scientific and academic community to measure the impact of satellite. And then the 2 other areas, one is integration of terrestrial and non-terrestrial, which was discussed at length in those 2 days. Absolutely critical. I've worked in both, the mobile industry and the satellite industry. It absolutely makes sense to see those 2 industries converge and really provide a breadth of services in areas to a sort of a level that we've never seen before, and we're seeing that with IoT, with D2D, and with really integration of both technologies and using the best capabilities of both industries to deliver better services, more capacity, to the consumer. And fourth, last but not least, it's of course bridging the digital gap, digital inclusion, and how satellite is absolutely critical to bringing and helping, if you want, close the digital divide and bring connectivity for the 2.6 billion people that are still not online. And that's a critical mission that we have as an association to work with our members to deliver that.
That sounds very big and ambitious as well.
It's a full-on agenda.
As well. You mentioned NTN, and that is one of the big topics here at this conference. Do you see NTN becoming a more active use topic, active discussed topics in the larger space industry? We are coming, as you mentioned, the mobile industry, the terrestrial industry, and the satellite industry are trying to find a middle ground. Is there progress?
There is tremendous progress. I mean, for starters, we signed a cooperation agreement with GSMA, our counterpart in the mobile industry. At Mobile World Congress this year, we signed a cooperation agreement with ESA, the European Space Agency. So our mission there is really to increase, the capacity, the rapidity at which this integration is happening. I would say that 60% of the talks yesterday and today were about D2D, about IoT, about this integration. What you mentioned, which is very interesting, is how does that fit into the broader space agenda? World Economic Forum, one of the managing directors were there yesterday, and I used to work there, so it was very interesting to listen to Jeremy mention how, in a way, we need to start projecting what is happening on the ground, what can be replicated in space. And I think there the NTN and NTN integration is going to be key in terms of applications that we are going to be seeing, in terms of capabilities that we can bring to space, and how both technologies, not only it's not only from the skies, but it might be also to the skies. So I think that will be very interesting to see. And perhaps what would be good is in the next 2 years, when we have this event again, to see more vertical industries present, because we need to discuss with the automotive, with agriculture sector, with the energy sector, how we are really, if you want, working together to deliver, to help them benefit from satellite technology.
Here at this conference, I think there are first steps in this direction. I mean, here are representatives from BMW, from Aramco. That's around the corner. But so there is to use this term, a verticalization of this market. Is there room for improvement? No doubt, absolutely. Yeah. But tell me, what are your takeaways from these 2 days of conference? Beside many meetings, I assume.
Well, first of all, I think warm thanks for CST and ITU for organizing this. I think the fact that they bring such an event for the second time now to Saudi is testament to the interest that there is from industry, from policymakers to come. I think it is also great to bring it to different regions. So it's great to see it in Saudi. It will be great to see similar events, in other parts of the world as well. I think it's just a testament of how this industry, how the satellite industry is growing tremendously, how much interest there is, and how much interest there is from governments, also from policymakers, to work with industry, to understand the very complicated environment in which everything is evolving and rapidly evolving. And so how do we cooperate? There is an increasing need to cooperate between policymakers and industry to make sure that we put in place really the right framework for this industry to thrive in the future.
And I applaud every government that puts space on the agenda and gives space also the strategic importance and priority it deserves. Isabelle, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And with that, SpaceWatch out.